Hello, this is Buddy Blackman with the Fayetteville Real Estate School, and this is the first part of a series of recordings to assist you with math calculations on the real estate exam. And we're going to start with section 1 of our math workbook, which you should already have. I'm going to share my screen here. Let's do this. And all right, so we're going to be calculating a principal and interest payment on a mortgage loan. And the entire mortgage payment actually consists of what's called the PITI. And you can see on my screen, PITI is an acronym that stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Today on this math section and for the math exam or the real estate exam, we're only concerned with the PI part of the payment for this math section, or the principal and interest. So what is the principal? The principal payment is a payment toward the original amount of the loan. All right, so when you make your principal payment, it's only going toward the principal amount, what you owed on the loan itself. And the interest, or the I part of the payment, this is what it cost you from the lender to borrow the money. So you're going to have to pay interest on your loan, and you're going to be paying principal and interest, P&I. And the interest part is what you are paying the lender, or the cost for you to have the loan. All right, and we're going to switch right over here and go right into our math workbook, section 1, principal and interest payments. All right. The first thing we have to calculate is the loan amount. So it's going to be typically different than the purchase price of the property. The loan amount, or there's an acronym for that called LTV, loan to value is what LTV stands for. And that is the loan amount. It is usually a percent multiplied by the purchase price. For example, if the purchase price is $95,000 and they're getting a conventional mortgage of 90%, we're just going to multiply 95,000 times 90%, and that will give us our loan amount. So here we have 95,000 purchase price at 90%. So the first thing we do is calculate the loan amount. 95% times 90% equals 85,500. So our loan amount is 85,500. You only have to pay interest on the loan amount, because that is the amount that the bank is loaning you. So you're only going to pay interest on the loan amount. In this example problem, it also says, so a home purchase is 95,000, conventional mortgage, 90% LTV. Interest rate is 9.5% for a period of 30 years, and the loan factor is 8.41. That is all the information we need to compute the P&I payment for this property. We're also going to compute some other things, new loan amount after the payment, and interest over the life of the loan. But the first thing we do is calculate the amount of the loan. So we're going to take 95,000 times 90% equals 85,500. Next, we're going to figure out what the P&I payment would be. And in doing that, this is the formula right here on the bottom of the screen: loan amount divided by 1,000 times the loan factor. Anytime you're using a loan factor, and in this problem, you see this a loan factor is 8.41. Anytime you use that loan factor, then you know that the formula is the loan amount divided by 1,000 times the factor, or loan factor. All right, so we're going to take the 85,500, divide it by 1,000, multiply it. That equals, and multiply it by 8.41, which is the loan factor. That gives us a monthly P&I payment for 30 years, because this is a fixed rate loan, of $719.06. All right, so that's what the payment will be for the entire 30 years. Every month will be $719.06. Now we need to figure out of that $719.06, how much of that is going towards the principal and how much of that is going toward the interest. How much of that is going toward the principal? How much is going toward interest? It will change with each monthly payment because you will have a new loan balance and you're only going to pay interest on the new loan balance. All right, so first we have to figure out how much of this 71906 is interest. And the calculation for that is we take the loan amount, the current loan amount, times the percentage rate. We see in the problem, the percentage rate is 9.5%. That will give us the interest for a year. We then have to figure out how much the interest is for 1 month. So we divide that by 12, and that gives us interest paid for that month. So 85,500 times 9.5% interest rate will give us interest for a year of 8,122.50. We divide that by 12, and that gives us interest for the very first payment of $676.88. Now it's easy to calculate how much of the 71906 payment will go toward principal, because we're just going to deduct this interest payment of $676.88 from the 71906. All right, 71906 minus the 676.88 will equal a principal payment towards the loan balance of 4218. Now we need to calculate what is the current loan balance after this payment. We just take the current loan balance, which is 85,500, subtract the principal paid of 4218, and this is the formula right here. And then here's our new loan balance is $85,457.82. That is the new loan balance as of the first day of the second month, because you made your first payment. Now we need to calculate interest paid over the life of the loan. How much are you going to, if you have this loan for the entire 30 years, how much will you be paying the bank in interest? All right, and here's the formula for it. P&I payment times the length of the loan in months. So it's a 30-year loan. So we need to do 30 years times 12 months in a year. Then we're going to subtract the original loan amount, and that will give us interest paid over the life of the loan. And here we go, 71906, which is the P&I payment for every month, times 360 months of payments, will equal total payments to the bank of $258,861.60. We're going to subtract their original loan amount. That will give us the interest paid over the life of the loan of $173,361.60 for a house that they paid $95,000 for. All right, so the banks or lenders are making some money. All right, then we have some practice problems. We're going to go through a few of these practice problems. Betty bought a house for $76,000. She received a conventional loan for 85% loan to value for 8.5% interest for a period of 25 years. The factor is 8.05. So the loan factor is 8.05, and figure all the standard answers. So the first thing we have to do again is compute the loan amount. So they bought the house for $76,000. She's receiving an 85% loan to value. So we multiply that out and it gives us a loan amount of $64,600. Once we have that, our loan amount, now we're going to compute the P&I payment. Whenever we have a loan factor, we take the loan amount, divide it by 1,000, multiply it by a loan factor, and that gives us our monthly P&I payment. And here it is here. 64,600 divided by 1,000 equals 64.6 times 8.05 loan factor will give us a monthly P&I payment of $520.03. That will be the monthly payment for 25 years. All right, now we need to compute how much of that payment is interest. So we're going to, again, the formula is loan amount times the interest rate, 8.5%, or the same thing as 8.5% is 0.085. So you could either take your calculator and you could input 64,600 times 8.5 and then hit the percent key and that will give you the answer. Or to convert 8.5% to a decimal, it's 0.085. That gives us interest for a year. We, again, then have to divide that interest by 12 months to get the interest for the 1 month, and that is $457.58. Now we need to get our new loan balance. We're just going to subtract that interest from the P&I payment of $520.03, and that gives us principal paid for that very first payment of $62.45. Now we need a new loan balance. We're going to take the original loan balance minus the principal paid, and that will give us a new principal as of the first day of the second month of $64,537.55. All right, and our last thing we need to do is interest over the life of the loan. And remember, the formula is the P&I payment times the number of payments for the entire loan. In this case, it's not 360 because it's a 25-year loan. So it's 25 times 12. And so that's 520.03 P&I payment times 300 payments, not 360 because it's 25-year loan. That equals total payments of $156,009. Then we subtract the original loan balance of $64,600. That gives us interest over the life of the loan of $91,409. Interest over the life of the loan. All right, there are more sample problems here, and so feel free to do that again. Watch this video again if you're not sure or do not understand the principal and interest section, and I will see you on the next section.